Morning collective. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Ooh, I got in the zone for a minute there. I was getting some intel.
Choking.
Ooh, ooh. Mm. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to let people come in. Just going to set up a little. Get my spiel together.
I'm bored of haunting you.
Interesting. Spirit said I'm bored of haunting you. Oh, jeez. Can't really haunt someone that's
1,850.
not hauntable. It's not scared. Can't really haunt someone that doesn't live in fear. Oh, why does the energy feel so weird? Holy Divine Spirit, please clear the field. Please remove any negative energy that isn't for the highest good, that doesn't want me to read this message. Thank you so much. Archangel Michael, please bring in Helen. All right. So, hello, good morning. Oh my gosh, I feel like this wave of weirdness just came over me. Not weirdness, but like a weird feeling. It almost feels mm, like fluttery or like weird. It almost feels like when, man, I don't know how to explain this. There's like this Chinese little jewelry box that has like a sliding door on it. It kind of feels like that. I know that sounds weird, but I'm just
Rosemary.
given the observations. Hello, good morning, Galactive. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is
Elric.
Patience. I am your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. If you like more podcast style, metaphysical information that is segmented and a little more episode based, you can go to Spirit News, and that's where we put all of our spirit knowledge that has helped us on our ascension journey that we gathered through the observations we made by asking our very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. On this channel, we use this channel to develop our spiritual abilities, which everybody has.
Iron Age.
Everybody has an electromagnetic field, which is the medium in which you pick up on non-physical information that is everywhere. Everything is energy. So we take this platform to use it to with our spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle, to learn how to read energy. Okay? And while we're learning, we thought it'd be fun to solve mysteries and crimes and get higher perspectives of linear views of people who've crossed over, since the powers that be love to cross people over and then think that they'll never talk again. And they like to say that being psychic is blasphemous and all that stuff, just to try to prevent us from speaking to our crossed over loved ones. Well, those days are over. It's a new earth. It's a new earth now. So we make the rules. We decide what gets created. And I choose to be forgiving. I choose love. I choose to use my gifts for good, just like they have others that use their gifts for naughty reasons. But listen, I don't know what that has to do with that reading today. I don't
My
know.
name is Irene.
I don't know. Spirit said Irene, Elric, Eric, Connie.
Abandoned.
This is funny. I am death. Spirits walk. I'm in my 30s, which the person we're gonna try to connect with was 32 when she passed. And it is a mystery. It is a big mystery. Holy Divine Spirit, thank you so much for being with me. I love you so much. Archangel Michael, please, I be with Helen as I invite her into my energy field for protection. I'd like to talk to her and understand what happened. So if you guys don't know, hello, Lucy Roberts. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here with us. So today we're going to attempt to talk to Dr. Helen Maciel Garay Sanchez. That's a lot of names. That's a lot of names. She was a 32-year-old anesthesiologist and mother of two from Nicaragua. She was found unalived in a Dollar Tree freezer in Miami, Florida on December 14th, 2025. After she entered the store, she went to a restricted employee-only area and got into the freezer overnight, with police ruling out foul play and investigating the circumstances of this mysterious death. Oh, thank you so much, Lucy. What does it mean to be a modernizer? A what?
Past.
Oh, a moderator? She probably wasn't supposed to be in the country. I don't know. That wouldn't explain why she wanted to go in the freezer and then stay in there overnight. She just kind of like wandered in there. So I'm not really like, what a mystery. It kind of reminds me of when, dang it, what was her name? Oh, you know what? Let me look it up. I think it might be Janika. Who was the young lady that was found in the freezer at the hotel? Kanika! Oh my gosh, I was right. Kanika Jenkins. We did do a reading on her as well, because Kanika Jenkins was also found in the freezer through she had prescription drug intoxication, alcohol, hypothermia, and from what I remember about the reading we did, there was something going on about friends she couldn't trust that definitely played a role in that. You're just going to pass my question? What's your question? Oh, what does a modernizer do on your page? I think it's moderator, but they just moderate, They moderate the the comments to make sure it stays, somewhat nice, nice and neat. That's right, Kanika. Hey, Kanika. So I wonder, what happened? This Spirit's been saying Bellatrix a lot, which reminds me of Harry Potter, and Sirius Black's sister was Bellatrix Lestrange, who was a wicked witch. So that's interesting. But watch this, you guys. So when I make the thumbnails for the people that I'm going to bring forward, I use AI, and I need to make the picture the right size for the thumbnail. So I use this app, and whatever negative space there is to fill in, it will fill it in, whatever it chooses. I just have it on random. So I did that for Helen. I got a nice picture of her, and I put the letters. I put Helen Maciel Garay Sanchez mystery. Why was she in the Dollar Tree freezer? And when it generated a picture, I almost like freaked out a little, because it put another person in the picture, and there is no other people in the picture, and it's never done that before. And I've made a lot of these, you guys, and it's never done that before. What if the alcohol kept the warm? Well, I don't know. I don't know if she was drinking. I have no idea. She did end up taking her clothes off, though, because of that thing that happens when you get hypothermia. There's an actual thing about it. Let me see if we can. I want to know the name of it, because there's a name for it. Let's see if the AI says it. Oh, it doesn't say, but she was. Oh, there it is. Paradoxical undressing is what they call it. When you have severe hypothermia, it's a symptom of severe hypothermia where I don't know if it's because you freak out or because your body starts trying to go in survival mode. I'm not sure, but look at this. It put another person in there, and it's a woman, and I have no idea where it got this woman from. I have no idea if it's associated. But what's weird is that she's kind of like gray, and she looks like she's like attached to her heart chakra, like coming from her side. So it's interesting. I'm not sure what it means, but I just thought it was weird that it did that. It doesn't normally put people in. So we'll see what it says. And I definitely want to try to see what we can reveal about this mystery. Again, I can't prove any of this in a court of law. This is all allegedly whatever comes out. Whatever comes out could possibly be about have pieces of it that are reminiscent of your own story, because we live in a fractal universe, and so there could be similarities, or it could just be a segue for somebody's a whole other story entirely. So I don't know. This is for entertainment purposes only. I can't prove any of it. Okay, I have to say that for legal reasons. Okay, maybe the woman through her the AI saw it. Through her the AI saw it.
I had an injury.
Hey, girl. Oh, hey. I don't know. Hey, Chris. I'm sorry. I read your thing and said, I don't know if you're a girl, but Spirit said I had an injury. Spirit, I'm going to look in the good news, the New Testament. Helen. Helen, what the heck, man? What happened? I noticed she was visiting her father. She was visiting her father from Nicaragua. Surveillance footage confirmed that Sanchez entered the freezer of her own free will, and authorities have ruled out foul play. Reports indicate that she was found nude or partially unclothed, which may be consistent with paradoxical undressing, a symptom of severe hypothermia. Miami police have classified the incident as an unclassified death. While they await a final report from the Miami-Dade medical examiner, investigators also noted that the freezer was equipped with an internal emergency release handle that was not blocked. Sanchez was an anesthesiologist specializing in congenital heart disease. She had been visiting family in Miami and was scheduled to return to her 2 children, those poor babies, in Nicaragua shortly after the incident. Police recently obtained new evidence provided by family members showing Sanchez's actions shortly before she entered the store. While investigators previously considered mental health as a potential factor, recent statements from early January 2026 suggest they may have ruled it out as a primary driver. Spirit said we died in battle. And that woman makes me feel like some kind of spiritual warfare or something. That's such a hot scene. I don't know what that means. So, I don't know. Helen, what happened to you? Why did you go into the freezer and not come out? Jesus is rejected. John 10 and 11. Jesus is rejected in the death of Lazarus. But oh my gosh, but today's 110. I think she wants me to read 10 and 11. Or today's 110. So that's 11. But if you add up the 2 and the 6, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10, 10, and 11. And I opened it to John 10, 11. And there's 11 people in here right now. So Jesus said, I am telling you the truth. The man does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in some other way. Is a thief and a robber the man who goes through this gate is a shepherd of the sheep? The gatekeeper opens the gate for him. The sheep hear his voice as he calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out. When he has brought them out, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow someone else. Instead, they will run away from such a person because they do not know his voice. Jesus told them this parable, but they did not understand what he meant. Are you saying she was following someone's voice? I also have spiritual blindness. Jesus is rejected, and the death of Lazarus. It was winter, and the festival of dedication of the temple was being celebrated. Many deaths. Jesus was walking in Solomon's porch in the temple when the people gathered around him and asked, "How are you going to keep us in suspense? Tell us the plain truth. Are you the Messiah?" Jesus answered, "I have already told you, but you would not believe me. The deeds I do by my Father's authority speak on my behalf, but you will not believe, for you are not my sheep. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and
Thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome. I know them, and they follow. What? Oh, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they shall never die. No one can snatch them away from me. What my Father has given me is greater than everything, and no one can snatch them away from the Father's care. The Father and I are one." Then the people again picked up stones to throw at him. Jesus said to them, "I have done many good deeds in your presence, which the Father gave me to do. To which one of these do you want to stone me?" They answered, "We do not want to stone you because of any good deeds, but because of your blasphemy. You are only a man. You are trying to make yourself God." Jesus answered, "It is written in your own law that God said, 'You are gods.' We know that what the scripture says is true forever, and God called those people gods, the people to whom his message was given. As for me, the Father chose me and sent me into the world. How then can you say that I am blasphemy? Because I said that I am the Son of God? Do not believe me then. If I'm not doing the things my Father wants me to do, but if I do them even though you do not believe me, you should at least believe my deeds, in order that you may know once and for all that the Father, Cain, that the Father is in me and that I am in the Father." Cain? Cain and Abel? Spirit just said Cain, like in Cain and Abel. That may be relevant.
My body's around here.
My body's around here. Are you gifted with the fortune telling? I don't tell fortunes. You should at least believe my deeds, or in order that you may know once and for all that the Father is in me and that I am in the Father. Once more they tried to seize Jesus, but he slipped out of their hands. Jesus then went back across the Jordan River to a place where John had been baptizing, and he stayed there. Many people came to him. John performed no miracles, they said, but everything he said about this man was true, and many people there believed in him. Interesting. And I have sister right here. I don't know if she has a sister or maybe befriended somebody who she thought was like her sister, or I'm not sure. But I do have sister here, and I have Cain and Abel, which leads me to believe that a sibling could be involved or someone who is like a sibling. Dear friend is sick. The sister sent Jesus a message, "Lord, your dear friend is sick." thank you. Oh my God, that scared me. I saw this thing pop up that scared me. Thank you. Thank you so much for that little owl. That was cute.
Ancient curse.
Ancient curse. This bloodline may be cursed. Okay. So let me look up Cain and Abel because I know that Cain was not a good guy. Cain and Abel. And it doesn't have to be that it was a sister or a sibling. It could just be that energy. You know, it doesn't have to be by blood, but maybe when she was in Miami, she met somebody that she thought was her friend or thought, you know, they were going to become friends or something. Or maybe somebody close to the father, you know, that was exhibiting jealousy. Jealousy. Cain became angry. God warned him that sin was lurking, but that he must master it. Cain lured Abel to a field and killed him. God asked Cain where Abel was, and Cain denied knowing, asking, Am I my brother's keeper? God cursed Cain to be a wanderer and banished him from Eden, but placed a mark on him so no one would kill him. Cain's anger and jealousy led to the first murder, illustrating how unchecked negative emotions lead to evil. Divine favor. The story questions what makes an offering acceptable, suggesting God looks at the heart and intent, not just the action. Yes, absolutely. Abel is the first to die, and Cain, banished, becomes the first to build a city in the land of Nod. God punishes Cain, but also shows mercy through his protective mark, indicating ongoing care even for the wicked. Yeah, there's something about a curse here. Cain was a farmer, worked with the soil, and Abel was a shepherd, tended to the flocks. So Helen is like Abel. Who's like Cain? Who is Cain to Helen? If she's like Abel, who's Cain? Spirit said Bellatrix. You know what? Let me look at Bellatrix. Oh my gosh. Let me look at Bellatrix. Who is Bellatrix? A major villain in the Harry Potter series, a fanatically loyal, sadistic, and powerful Death Eater, and one of Lord Voldemort's closest followers. Known for her cruelty, use of the Cruciatus Curse, and unwavering devotion to Voldemort, ultimately being killed by Molly Weasley. In the final battle, she was a pure-blood witch from the esteemed House of Black, sister to Narcissa Malfoy, and aunt to Draco Malfoy, famously portrayed by Helen Bonham Carter. Interesting. Okay. Helen, who is Cain to you? What's going on? Where should we go? Where should we go? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself a little bit so we can get to know you, Helen. Well, tell me about yourself. Something about aggression, sex drive, sensuality, masculine energy. Tell me about yourself.
Many deaths.
Many deaths. Persevering. Persevering in reverse. She was tired of something. There's something that she was having difficulty with getting through. Something that she was starting to change. Something was starting to change within her. Or she's very caring. Someone showing genuine concern and affection for others. There's some kind of difficulty she could persist through without giving up. And this person has a backpack on, so she was traveling. She did travel to Miami, so she could have experienced some kind of difficulty. Maybe she didn't want to go back. Maybe there's someone she was, I don't know, ambitious, resilient. Yeah, she was an anesthesiologist, a doctor. She was trying to bounce back from some kind of setback. What else, honey?
Keep walking.
Keep walking. That's so funny. I was looking at this card when she said keep walking, and it looks like she was very ambitious. She was driven. She had a lot of success. That's what Cain was jealous of, right? Jealous of Abel because of what? Why was Cain jealous? Let me see. Why was Cain jealous of Abel? God favored Abel's offering, the firstborn of his flock, but rejected Cain's crops, leading to Cain's pride being wounded and his anger turning into murderous rage. That seems a little... The jealousy...
Show you.
I will show you. The jealousy stemmed from a perceived inequality, with Abel's offering seen as righteous and full of faith, while Cain's was seen as careless or from a wrong attitude, making Cain resent his brother's success and God's acceptance. I get you. It wasn't that God accepted. It wasn't God that God accepted the offering and favored the offering. It was that God.
Dance.
Thank you. It was that God favored the energy in which Abel gave the offering. So there's something about some kind of difference in energy. You know, you can give an offering. It doesn't have to be an animal, but it's with the intention that you're giving it. If you're praying to God or wanting to be in touch with your spirit team for what they can do for you and not for what you can do for each other, to have a co-creative existence with each other, to co-create with each other, and it's all about what you can get out of it, then that's something that God can read in your heart. And so it wasn't the offering itself, it was the attitude and the intention in which it was given. Cain wanted to give an offering because he wanted favor, but he didn't want to give an offering because he wanted to give from his heart because he appreciated what he had. So that's the difference in the offering. So there's something about that. Tell me more about that. There could have been someone in her energy that looked at her. Oh, I have soulmate in reverse. Partnership of shared fate. She could have been seeing someone in Nicaragua. In Miami. She's from Nicaragua. The pros of dating a practical person are that they are here for a long haul, meaning they do plan things ahead. Pirates. Moth and flames, master and self-sacrifice. Huh. Let me see. Helen, thank you for being with us. Are you saying that you were seeing somebody?
Are you afraid?
Did you become friends with somebody? Yes. Soulmate doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could just be somebody that she became friends with. Is this person related to your father? Did you meet them through your father? Yes. Did you meet them at church? Yes. Did you go to church with your father and your father introduced you, or you met them while at church? Yes. Was this a friend? Was this someone you thought you could be friends with?
You're dead inside.
Someone who's dead inside? Did they seem to be caring and ambitious and like you? Did they mirror you? Yes. Were you attracted to them because they were mirroring your own ambition? Yes. Okay. Tell me more. So, this person she may have met at church, just she's in a different place. She's in Miami. She may have gone with her father to church and met a friend and thought that this could be her friend because it was spontaneous. It was something she didn't plan for. It was something that she embraced because why not? I don't make a lot of friends. This person seemed to express their opinions with confidence, and they seemed just like her because according to this, the person was mirroring herself to her. So she was like, "Oh, we're so resilient and ambitious." Okay. It was like a moth to a flame. Okay. Beware of people who are like that, who seem to have everything in common with you, that seem to have everything that you've ever wanted in a friend all at once, all of a sudden, quickly. Beware of people like that.
Ghastly.
Ghastly, Spirit said. Okay, tell me more. So she could have looked at this person like, oh, what a fantastic surprise. I get the pros of having a friend, or, limitless. I don't get to have a lot of friends. It was like a moth to a flame, you know. But this was this was something else. So we said Morris. That could be a last name, Morris. Oh, she doesn't like these cards. Okay. Okay. You want me to do different ones? Sure. We'll do our bag of stickers. These have been fun soon. These have been fun soon. These have been fun. Helen, what's going on here? Who's this friend? Tell me about that day. What happened that day? Something unexpected. Something that needs to be expressed. I can't make it up, you guys. Okay, yes, but why? Like, what led up to that? You were happy, okay. The day started happy, felt good. Did you talk to that friend? Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Oh, it reminds me of the good news where Jesus was like, you will hear my voice. And that picture. The thumbnail had the girl in it. She could have thought she was following someone. She could have thought she was following someone in there. Yeah, look at this. A photograph over her eyes. She could have been... Angel hierarchy. She could have been in her mind believing that she was following someone. She could have been seeing something different than what was reality. Look at that. And there's two people here, but she has a camera over the eyes. Yeah, whatever she was looking at or what she thought she was doing, it was not real. Logic, imagination will take you everywhere. Yeah, she was following someone. She thought she was following someone in there. I don't know why or how, but that's what she's saying. Whatever she was following was not actually there. It was an illusion. It was in her imagination. Why were you imagining it? In what way? Yeah, she was something about sunglasses again over the something she was blinded to. Something she had something put over her eyes. Something she was following because she thought it was Jesus. She thought it was something good. What's that say?
I see the lights.
She took off her clothes. She ended up taking off some of her clothes in the freezer.
We exorcise you.
She could have been having an affair with someone. Someone who may have. What is this? Someone who definitely didn't.
You're imaginative.
Someone who definitely didn't have her best interest at heart. There's something here about luring her or using her or yeah, again, I think she was having an affair. I think she thought she was following someone in the room to have an affair with them, or again, or something about maybe someone she thought she was following someone she knew who I don't know. Huh. Her vision was definitely distorted. It wasn't real. Whatever she was looking at, it wasn't real. Yeah, she was like hypnotized or something. She was hypnotized.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, let's be friends. Didn't I just say there was someone she met. She perhaps Colton, Spirit said Colton. There's something about how this person, she may have rejected this person or wasn't trying to move as fast as this person wanted to, or so she wanted to be friends. This could be someone of the opposite sex. When she denied this person or said, let's take our time, this person may have felt rejected by her. I thought it was a friend, but I don't know. Let's do an imagine if. 4. Imagine if Helen were a flying object, which would she be? A frisbee. A frisbee. A frisbee. A flying object, because she was about to leave that day. She was supposed to leave that day. And a frisbee doesn't come back to you. It just is a one. She was about to leave that day. 12, 6, 2 sixes. Imagine if Helen were a manager. Which would she consider the most important quality in employees? Looks. Looks.
Understand.
Understand. Are you saying that you weren't attracted to this person and that's why you rejected them? And it also says a manager and employees, and she was at a Dollar Tree, so that's weird. Imagine if Helen were buying a home. Which of the following would she consider most important? Proximity to work. Because she lives in Nicaragua. She may have rejected somebody that may have been ruthless, that may have been pretending or mirroring her own self to her to get her to like them. Someone of the opposite sex, someone that she rejected because of she wasn't physically attracted to them. She was leaving soon, and she has a job in Nicaragua and wouldn't want to be away from her established job. So there were lots of things that were, these are all the reasons that I don't want to hook up with you. But this person may have said, well, we can be friends though, right? And so, the problem with being friends is that, one of you wants to be a friend, but the other one, just says that they want to be friends, but they usually want to be more than friends, right? Hers. It could have been a woman too. It could have been a woman. Doesn't have to be. Let's do a couple more. 3. It could be a woman. That could be another reason. If looks are coming in, she might not be attracted to women. Imagine if blank were a singer. Which would she be? The artist formerly known as Prince. Maybe she used to have... this is somebody that she confided in about her past, about what she used to do, about, things she used to be interested in. Six. Imagine if Helen were traveling on the space shuttle. How would she feel? Weightless. Weightless. And Spirit said collapse. Let's look in the dream decoder. Helen, tell me more about that day. There's something about her feeling weightless that day. And something about her imagination taking her. Helen, tell me more about what you're trying to say about this person. And struggle, security, insecurity, the human condition, phobias, rejection. Rejection. I can't make it up. As a witness around high-profile, active, ongoing case involving a missing child, I'd like to tell you that what y'all do online creates so much bad pain, lies, real-life harm, and destruction to people. Oh, well, I'm so sorry you feel that way. Hey, LOL. I'm so sorry you feel that way. I will say that, there are a lot of readers that aren't exactly doing
Nanny.
the work that needs to be done to have a true connection, and they can give out information that they're making up or that they're creating on the moment. But there's also, for every bad, for all of the bad ones, there's good ones. And we have to remember that there's good and bad. So for every case that it might not help a case, there's certainly a lot of cases that can help. And it can put a lot of assurance or closure to a lot of situations. So it goes both ways. And
Do
so
you understand?
it's not going to be one way, it's both ways. Anyone pay $5 to stop most anyone's live stream, including this one? Well, listen, I opened the thing to rejection and phobias and struggle. Rejection is most painful. It leaves us with low self-esteem, a loss of self-confidence, and a lot of asking what we did wrong. Nevertheless, both to reject and to be rejected is something that is almost bound to happen to all of us at least once in our lives. A lover dropped who refused to react gracefully and chose anger from her, and chose anger about her resignation. She could have possibly had just a short-term affair with somebody that she met, and she rejected him because she has to go back home and she has a family, and well, I don't know if she has a husband, but she has 2 kids, and she has a career back home. So he may have been wanting her to accept him and be part of the waking life, but she didn't want to deal with that. She's like, I have other things, and so she rejected him. But instead of taking what she was saying, all the reasons why she didn't want to have a relationship with him, he may have taken it like, oh, there's someone else? Oh, there's someone else, or something like that. Are you choosing someone else over me? And so she was holding back, telling him, I have to go home, I have my kids, I have my job. And he may have started to become unpleasant as she kept telling him, like, I don't want to be with you. And it may have caused some kind of emotional or mental health situation because she was being honest with him about what she wanted from him, and he was not able to take her resignation from the relationship gracefully. Fresh. Okay. Helen wishes she could have taken a time travel machine because she did something in someone from her past, perhaps, that she went back to. Because I also have, what was that? What was that? It was something about something from the past. What was that? I don't know where I saw that. I don't remember where I saw it, but she could have saw someone from her past at the church, or reconnected with someone from her past, that possibly she had prevented disasters from. She may have been frustrated because she had an intensely curious mind about what this person was doing, and this person was happy to meet up again. but the time that they were apart, the clock was
Welcome,
tick
friend.
the clock was ticking, and this person may have became sinister in their time apart, something that she did not have awareness of as time passed. This person may have been wasting time putting in sinister intentions while they were apart. Or this could possibly be someone that she sees every time she travels to Miami that wanted to be more, but every time she came, she was preventing disasters because she was trying to be noble and compassionate, because she had an inability to change her current events. She didn't want to have a long-term relationship with this person, but every time she goes to Miami, this person says that they are okay with the relationship they have. So, but every time she leaves, it's a rejection. It's a confirmation that she's not willing to put in more effort or work into the relationship. And so it may have been some kind of, the straw that broke the camel's back. They may have been possibly supposed to meet up the day that she was supposed to leave.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you. She was supposed to meet up, but she may have tried to miss the appointment or say that she can't make it. She may have tried to break it off with them in a noble, compassionate way. But this may have caused a lot of frustration in the other person. What did the other person do? Blood. Damn. Person may have been out for blood. Just tired of the rejection. Always, the thing is that if you're saying that you're okay with how the relationship is, but you're really not,
No, please leave.
no, please leave. You're a master in self-sacrifice. You're a master in self-sacrifice.
Wife.
Because she's a wife. Because she doesn't want to have a relationship with this person because she's got a family at home. But when she goes to Miami, there's possibly something about how she hits this person up. Okay? And this person is always reflecting who she is and gives her attention. And so maybe, I'm not saying that Helen's a bad person for doing this. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just saying this is what I'm getting. I'm just reading the energy. When will we be going to dinner? Don't reject me. I couldn't handle it. Who are we talking about tonight? Well, LOL. Thank you for asking. We're talking about Helen. Hold on. She has a long name. We're talking about Helen
Left to go.
Mariel Garay Sanchez. she's a 32-year-old woman, 32-year-old physician and mother of two from Nicaragua that was found dead inside of a walk-in freezer at the Dollar Tree in Miami, Florida. So I don't think that she was on any drugs. I don't think that it was any of that. But there is something about her vision being askew. Definitely some type of and the Bible, the good news, the New Testament said, Jesus said, you will hear my voice and you will follow my voice and you will know that it's me. So, and I have blood here. Blood is a powerful image. It also symbolizes passion and danger. Something about a blood brother, and I have sibling again. So in the New Testament, and I had the story of Cain and Abel. So, and I also have tearing of the hymen, deflowered. Once seen as proof of a male's virility.
There's still good here.
She may have started to instinctively find this person troubling. There's something worrying about the psychological condition of this person that may be a vampire, a lover that wanted control over her, but not in a healthy way. There's something in particular that indicated to her that something is wrong with this person. She may have seen something or saw something or caught some. It says instinctively caught on to something that was giving her an uneasy feeling about this person that may possibly want to deliberately harm her, or maybe this person talked about harming another person. And that may have indicated something to her that this person has become unhinged in some way, because in their time apart, there's something about them that became sinister, diseased, damaged, compromised. Someone that she once felt comfortable with, but over time, she sees now in this moment that there's something that she needs to take the warning about. That could be why she canceled the date before she left. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back, something about canceling. Tell me more. Let's do a mind trap. Mr. and Mrs. Clatter have 5 children. Half of them are boys. How is this possible? The other half are also boys. Found. Can you please elaborate on that? I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Sam Sham put the phone back on the cradle and stepped out of the booth. Just then, Shadow pulled his bicycle in front of Sam and demanded to know who he had just called. I didn't call anybody. I was about to make a call when I realized I didn't have any change. I was just going to get some when you pulled up. Terrifying. Shadow stared at Sam and said, "We just received a ransom demand, and it was made from this booth." Sam quickly responded, "I saw a tall black man leave this booth not 30 seconds earlier. All he wore was a Speedo bathing suit. Since the beach is only a block away, I didn't pay much attention. What simple test could Shadow arrange to be positive Sam Sham did not place the ransom call?" Since Sam said he hadn't any coins to place a call, Shadow would only need to examine the coins in the phone for Sam's fingerprints. She was terrified of this person because they possibly could have showed up. She canceled the date or the meetup because there was something about this person that showed themselves to her. She saw something that they were doing or something they said that raised red like an alarm for her, and that's when she decided to cancel the meetup. But this is what caused some kind of break in this person. They could have showed up or called, and there's something about menstrual blood. I'm getting a vision of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Manchurian Candidate, where they call, you get a phone call and they say bananas, and then all of a sudden you become something else, or you like, what's that? You switch and alter or something. There's something about that. They could have started to follow her around, showing up at places. that she was. That could have been part of what spooked her. Like, how did you know I was going to be here? I didn't tell you where I was going to be. So, like, implying that she may be being tracked or followed by this person because she pulled back from them.
Agree.
Agree. Spirit just said agree. Because she pulled back from them. Because she didn't want to, this person was exhibiting some kind of dark, sinister. They were different than before when they were visiting. This is someone she may visit every time she comes to Miami. I don't know if they have a relationship, but I think this person wants a relationship with them. But this,
My happy place.
but she's always telling them, I don't want to have a relationship with you. I live in a different country. I just thought we were friends. I like to have a friend when I come out here, and then this person's like always like, okay, yeah, we can be friends, activate assassin rule. But deep down, this person wants to have a relationship with her. But see, the thing is, this person's a master in self-sacrifice, where instead of just saying, I really want to be with you, and every time they say, and they become very assertive, and every time they bring up, and not to say that Helen is at fault, because, she told this person multiple times, like, I don't want to be with you in that way. If someone keeps asserting themselves in a romantic way to you and says, "Oh, we can just be friends. I just want you in my life. I just want to be friends with you." You may want to consider just not even allowing the thought that there's a chance with them to enter, and just cut that friend off, because just because someone says that they want you in their life and that they want to be friends with you, and doesn't mean that they can handle being friends with you if they're truly looking at you in a romantic way, and they're always fantasizing about you, and they're always have a distorted view of
Night whispers.
what your relationship could be, even though you keep telling them that you're not interested in that way. You may just want to not be friends with them. Even if you do get attention from this person, even if it is a temporary, like, situationship, it's not right. Either way, it's not right. Okay. So there's something about that day where they were supposed to meet, but there are events that happened that scared her, that instinctively told her that she should cut this person off. They could have showed up or called. There's something about her being terrified of this person. I can't make it up. That's like what psychopaths write those letters in. They could have flown off the deep end. Something about the moon and something about blood. Something that was a ticking time bomb, just waiting for the hourglass
Tradition.
to hit. Every adventure begins with a first step. And in the Bible, it said that you will follow, if you can believe it, the mind can achieve it. Yeah, there was something that she was, how do I get that? How do I understand what she was looking at? Spirit, how can I understand what she was looking at? I can't make it up, you guys. Black magic killed me. Are you saying this person dabbles in black magic? You are in the midst of a spiritual awakening. This is Wally, someone named Walter or Wally.
Hear us.
Hear us. Or she hit a wall, or communication, mentality. Yeah, this person did some kind of black magic on her. Sign a lease for an apartment. This person may have done black magic to them because they were rejected by her. And the last rejection was the last straw. They're like, if you don't want to be with me, you're not going to be with anybody. It could have affected her mental. It could have affected her mind, like an illusion, like she thought she was following sexually transmitted infection, STI. It could have instability. This person could have put some kind of illusion on her to make her see differently. She could have walked into the freezer because she thought it was something else. She thought she was walking somewhere else. She may have thought she was following someone in there, someone who was of love and pleasure. It was in her mind. Yeah, activate assassin mode. Remember, it's supposed to be fun. Yeah, there's...
I'm in the trees.
Silence is golden. She didn't tell anybody about this relationship. She didn't tell anyone about this relationship. So nobody knew that she was meeting up with this person. But when ideals and intuition, nobody knew that she was talking to this person. Tell me more about this person and black magic. This person may have started to dabble in black magic and with their separation. That could have been something that she witnessed. Maybe she went to their house and saw something that like kind of freaked her out and realized this person became kind of sinister.
I could haunt you.
Be Amish and on the FBI's most wanted list. Yeah, she could have saw something weird, something that scared her. And that's why she wanted to break free of this person. But this person couldn't detach from her. It was like the last straw. Like, oh, you want to reject me again? We're supposed to go on a date. This person can show up at times. Anytime anyone sneezes, they must do it in your face. Yeah, someone very controlling, someone very possessive. It'll be interesting to see what information comes out about who she was in contact with before in the days leading up or that day, if there's any like call logs, or it says silence is golden, so I don't know, there may be some kind of burner phone or other form of communication or something that's not like easily accessible right away. Whoa. You collect dolls. One day they all come to life, but there's a catch. They are being controlled by Russian satellites. There are now live dolls that are holding you captive in your own home. Your family thinks you're dead. You're fired from your job. They torture you, trying to extract information on the United States nuclear program. Frustrated, the Russian spy dolls take your life, and you die on the floor. He could have had a doll, a voodoo doll. That could be how he could have put the voodoo doll in the freezer or something. There's something about her menstrual blood. Maybe he got a hold of her menstrual blood or something. I don't know. I know that sounds crazy, and I'm not saying that it has to be this story, but this is what's coming out. And so I know for a fact that people do black magic. I know for a fact, 100% for a fact. And so I can't, in my reality or my experience, disqualify it as a possibility. I can't, because in my own experience, there have been many people in my life who have admitted that they practice black magic. They may not think it's black magic, but it is. Because their intentions are always fucked up. Yell fire, fire every time you enter a room. Yeah, this person was exhibiting sinister behavior, and every time she comes to visit them, this person gets a little bit more assertive, a little bit more possessive, a little bit more dark, a little bit more fiery. Okay, they should be on the FBI's most wanted list because they've been doing things with black magic, possibly voodoo specifically, and something with dolls. But, you know, how she went into the freezer, this is why I want to do this. This is why I want to use my gifts for good, because it's situations like this where you're like, why the hell would she walk into the freezer? Why would anyone do that? And it says that she's a doctor. She doesn't have mental illness that she was exhibiting before, okay? Eat all of your meals off Vin Diesel's head. So then Spirit's like, your next question should be, how would one be affected by black magic? Okay, so how would one be affected? It goes back to the menstrual blood or the blood. If this person is able to take a feminine napkin out of the trash, a used one or something like that, or a piece of hair from a brush, or whatever bodily fluids that or items that can be connected to Helen that can be used in whatever weird, like, I don't do magic. But from what I'm learning, they need a personal item, and what makes it even stronger is having some kind of natural item, you know, like hair, fingernails, blood, you know, stuff like that. What did I stumble upon? Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you so much. Okay, and so if this person is putting something in her food that they made, and they're putting it inside of the doll, that's how voodoo works. You know, like, I mean, I'm not saying I do voodoo, but from what I look up online and what we get from the readings, like, there are specific things, like steps you have to follow in order to have a cord connected to the person you're trying to control. Okay, it all comes down to control. This person has a mental illness, and they have a wound of rejection. Okay, and so this person may have created a etheric cord to Helen, where if Helen acts up or wants to walk away, I have ways to make sure Helen stays or doesn't go back home or whatever. So something about putting something in the freezer, okay, and then some kind of I don't know how it works, so I don't have like a language for it. I don't know how it works. I just know that you can energetically bind yourself to people, and then it allows you to spy on them. Energetically, it allows you to control their thoughts. It can send an intrusive thought, and the thought you won't know is not your own, and you'll follow it. So if she was sent an intrusive thought to follow somebody that she thought she knew into a place that she thought was going to be good, but it was really something like that, then that's how energy works. So there's something about her following someone she trusted, someone who's at the trust level of Yeshua, you know, because the book said, follow my voice, and it was Yeshua. Everyone knows everything about you, everything. There's also something about not wanting her to leave, because I'm telling you, there's something she saw that they were doing. How can I find that out?
Hazel.
We'll try the guilty cards. Helen, what did you see them guilty of doing? Everyone knows everything about you. I told you there's something she discovered about this person that she witnessed or saw or something that scared her, that made her realize this person might be unhinged. Dress up like a cop on Halloween or otherwise. Yeah, something that's scary, something that she may have saw them dress, she may have saw a voodoo doll, she may have saw an altar, she may have saw like something weird that you would see on Halloween, something that they saw
I'm
them
agitated.
doing. I'm agitated. Do tech support for their family and friends. And also the tracking. This person's showing up at places that she never told them that she was going to be at. Okay, so that's freaking her out. Okay, there's lots of things this person's
I've been trapped here.
doing to exhibit really unhealthy behaviors. Have their friendliest be misinterpreted as flirting. I can't make it up. Have their friendliness be misinterpreted as flirting. Yeah. This is someone who was rejected by her over and over again, who kept saying, I just want to be your friend. I just want to be your friend. That's not true. That was never true. And every time they laid it, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I don't think it really matters. But I think what this is trying to teach us is that you can't just be friends with somebody who wants more from you. And if you keep on misinterpreting the friendliness as flirting, then you get confused. This person was confused. Chain themselves to a tree to stop it from being cut down. Yeah. This person was like threatening her. If you're not gonna be with me, then you're gonna regret it, kind of thing. And so she had to cut this person off. Send their food back to the restaurant. She had to cut this person off. She had to reject this person. This person was becoming unhinged, okay? And the reason why she went to the freezer is because this person got upset at them because she was going back home. She's like, no, I'm leaving. I told you I don't want a relationship with you. I'm leaving. I have 2 kids. I have a whole life. I have a career.
Gratitude.
I have a whole life that I don't even think that these 2 people had or they could have a long time ago. They could have a long time ago in the past.
The others scare me.
And but she didn't want to again. She just wanted to be friends. Okay, something like that. But this person couldn't admit. Call from jail asking to get bailed out. Yeah, this person couldn't admit that she's just being friendly with them. She's just trying to be friends. She comes over and from another country and she doesn't know anybody and she's visiting her father and she just thought it would be nice to have a friend from the past. Even if they may have had relationships a long time ago, this person claimed that it wasn't a big deal to be friends and that they weren't interested in a relationship, but they were the whole time. And so, when they're apart, when she's not visiting, this person is, knee deep in doing black magic. Ruin the end of a movie. Yeah, because they have control problems. And so they resorted to black magic as a way to assert some kind of control, because that's always what it is. Anyone who uses magic, it always comes down to control, wanting to control the outcome so it works out for them, because they're so out of control in all aspects of their life that they feel that having this outlet is a way to control things that they cannot control, and it's not true. Skip washing their hands after using the bathroom. Yeah, because they're stained, they're dirty, they let the fire within overwhelm them. Something about a bathroom. I have 2 references to a bathroom. Hold it rather than using a gross gas station bathroom. She could have thought that she was going into a bathroom. She could have thought that in her vision of what she was seeing, what was being projected onto her, this is how energy works, okay? On an etheric realm, if this person's dabbling in black magic and the cord has been attached through some kind of bodily fluid or whatever, this person is now without their knowing, binded to this person. Okay, Helen's bound. I swear I recall hearing that a lot of stuff that's done to or against you has to be agreed to while terms of soul contract is being established. Pre-birth it won't work. Well, I'm not an expert, but from what I'm gathering and what I'm learning through my spirit team is that when you, that's where this self-sacrifice card comes in. When you agree to sacrifice a part of yourself to be in relationship with somebody who exhibits to you time and time again red flags, that's the contract. That's the binding. When you self-sacrifice yourself, knowing that this person's showing you multiple things and reasons to walk away from them, God gives you, many signs, and it's us who never sees them. And so when we keep allowing these people back into our life, that creates the contract to still be in action. You haven't learned the lesson yet. This person's exhibiting behavior patterns that are detrimental to your own growth. And every time you invite or allow that person back into your energy, that reconstitutes the contract. It can be broken anytime the minute you decide to walk away from them. Now, when it comes to alternative timelines, yes, these can be past people from alternate timelines, from past lives, however you want to say it, that exhibited the same behaviors in those past lives where you didn't walk away from them and it ended bad, and then you get to be reintroduced to the energy in a different body, in a different situation that exhibits, similarities for you to break the cycle of allowing or inviting these energies back into your life over and over again. Okay. Now, when it comes to being, that's your agreement. That's your agreement. That's your agreement. And so when it comes to black magic, the reason why God has a lot of the messengers coming on here talking about it is because we live in a society that shrugs its head at that stuff and thinks it's like of movies and Harry Potter shit. That's just something that happens in movies, but that's not true either. And the only way black magic can affect you is if you don't believe in it, if you have no awareness of it. But the minute you have awareness and you learn the distinct characteristics of energy manipulation being projected at your electromagnetic field, you can then discern, like Jesus did, when somebody's projecting energy manipulation to you. And black magic is just a label that we've given energy manipulation, but it can happen psychically, it can happen through our intentions, through our thoughts. And so you don't have to be performing a ritual to be so emotionally invested that you become very mentally unhealthy or unhinged, and that can happen in your thoughts too. Black magic is just a way to manipulate energy through a ritual, okay? But the ritual can be your thoughts if your thoughts are strong enough and concentrated enough. Oh, someone's attacking my throat chakra. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not allowed here. Thank you. You need to get your eyebrows done. I'm rocking my eyebrows just the way they were meant to be. You sound unintelligent. Well, maybe to you, but then to others, I'm a genius. So it's all in your perspective. So this person, be the first to be eaten in a desperate survival situation because they look so tasty. Yeah, so Helen definitely was affected by black magic by somebody who has a cold heart, somebody who went to great lengths to reenact a horror movie, be friends with all of their exes. I can't make it up. I can't make it up, you guys. This could have been one of her exes or somebody she had some kind of relationship with in the past and thought she could be friends with them because she didn't have any friends, but this person didn't want to be friends with her. Tell me more about this person. Tell me more about this person. Let's see if we can get some details about them. Tell me about this person that was using black magic on her. Light skin. Light skin, possibly a woman. Doesn't have to be, but
My death was brutal.
My death was brutal. Oh, I know. Imagine being in a freezer, just freezing to death. So the way the magic would work is if, so say, okay, the person's rejected. The person already has established some kind of cord through through eating, possibly putting something in her food, giving him or her some kind of connection, etheric cord, to be able to affect her energy field, her electromagnetic field, which is connected to your mind, to your thoughts, okay, which could lead to them altering the way that you perceive your reality, because this is a hologram, right? This world is a hologram, essentially. Everything's energy, everything is vibration. And so if you're sending energy manipulation to someone, what you're really doing is sending them energy to manipulate their thoughts and the way that they're perceiving, okay? Everyone streaming their random pointless free time is like something out of a 1990s dystopian future movie. Bengals and Seahawks. Okay. Say no more. You've said it all. Practitioner. I can't make it up, you guys. If they weren't doing it themselves, they were paying someone to do it, to put a binding spell on this person so they wouldn't leave. Assurance. Nicely dressed. Light skin, nicely dressed. Who uses a practitioner. Could have a scar on their face. Could have a scar on their face. I have one more. Long hair. Yeah, it could be a woman. Unhealthy habits. A witch. A witch. I can't make it up. I cannot make it up. You want to know why it's such a mystery? Why she walked into the freezer? Because she was being energetically manipulated by somebody who's possessive, by somebody who was rejected by her, by somebody that she tried to walk away from that didn't allow her to walk away. I can't make it up, you guys. I can't make it up. Okay? Tell me more about this person. Tell me more about this person. Yeah, Netflix and chill. Love that lasts in reverse. Someone who wanted to have a relationship with her and couldn't stand a love affair. I told you, third party. This person was rejected. They were upset that she never wants to be with them for a long-term relationship. And this was the the straw that broke the camel's back. She told them time and time again, I have a family, I have a career, I only come here temporarily. I'm not planning on moving here. I'm not going to uproot my children and come here. I'm leaving. If you want to be friends while I'm here, that's fine, but I can't be with you. And they started to exhibit unhealthy behaviors of showing up all the time at places that she never told them that she was going to be at. And that was terrifying for her.
Are you afraid?
Are you afraid? Guilt, stress, anxiety, ashamed, remorseful. Yeah, this person's in guilt now because they have power struggles. They're in their pride and ego. They couldn't let go of this person, of Helen. They couldn't let go of her. They're like, well, I'm not going to be with you, nobody's going to be with you. Like getting off your flight early and you get off in Dallas instead and the plane has turbulence as you were supposed to have been on board as it was to land you in Amarillo. Leaving an early flight, perhaps. No, she definitely was going to leave that day. And there's something about how she was possibly supposed to meet up with this person, but she decided to pull out because her instincts were telling her, perhaps Jesus was telling her, don't go back to this person. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so this person sent energy manipulation to her to have her believe that she was possibly walking into a bathroom. I need to use the bathroom, but it was the freezer. And by the time, she could have gotten out at any time. So what happened while you were in the freezer? Why didn't you snap out of it? It's over for real. Yeah, it's over for real. Yeah, there's something about not having closet. Like I said, this could be the same sex. It doesn't have to be, but something about not wanting a same-sex relationship to get out into the open. This is on the floor. Something about an Aquarius or in February. Infatuation. I can't make it up.
Had a hard life.
So, Spirit, what was it that wasn't
I've
able...
been alone for years.
What was it that wasn't able to get her to get out of the freezer? Like, how does that work? You are the whisper I long to hear when the world is shouting. So something could have been, like, distracting her in there. I didn't insult anyone today. Yay for me. The way energy manipulation works, read books, be kind, stay weird. Yeah, what we're learning is when you're in a illusion, basically when you're in illusion, when you're having something pulled over your eyes and you're perceiving the world, that your reality in a different way than what's actually being experienced, you will, like, she could have, I don't know for sure, and I don't know if we can get that level of detail, but she could have thought that she was home or in the bathroom, or that she was doing something very, like, mundane. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. The check engine light. Yeah, something that she couldn't check because she was in some kind of different alternate reality. She didn't, yeah, like I said, an alternate reality. I'm not saying she was on mushrooms, but she was perceiving it differently than what she was experiencing. Okay? Yeah, it was like virtual reality. Okay, she was, so, I mean, hopefully that allowed her to not feel pain. Eyes. My soul needs the poetry that is hiding only in your eyes. Yeah. It was hidden from her eyes what she was actually experiencing. So I don't think she suffered in that way, but that's how magic works. And if you're not aware of it, it can affect you. A certain darkness is needed to see the stars. Yeah, she thought she was following, either she was following someone into the bathroom or she was going to a bathroom. That's what she, I cannot make it up. I can't make it up. That's a porta potty. That was the first time I had flown since my unaccompanied minor flying before 9/11. Yeah, this person that did this to her is full of darkness and lust. How did they view Helen? This is the story of Cain and Abel. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Yeah, Cain, they were jealous of them. They were jealous. Jealous that they didn't want to be with them, jealous that they had more going for them. You know, they took it as a rejection, like, you don't want to be with me because I'm not a doctor. You don't want to be with me because I don't have whatever, you know? And that was a rejection to them. They viewed Helen as, you know, very idealistic, put them on a pedestal. But we joke and laugh, otherwise we would start screaming. Yeah, there was something unsaid between these two. You know, Helen might have been too nice to say how she really felt and just felt bad about rejecting them. And then she was right, though, because the moment they were rejected, they were a crybaby about it. Oh, shit. Yeah, because look in the glasses. Because Helen has a whole other life. Helen doesn't want to start a life with this person. Because they're lusty and they're dark and they're always starting shit and they're quick
Yes.
they're quick to the bottle. Lure, burdens, bribes. Lure students, bribes. Yeah, there's this person. Helen did not want to be with this person for obvious reasons. The reasons were obvious. Yeah, the reasons were obvious. Never have I been a calm blue sea. I have always been a storm. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, this person's a storm. How can we end it? Oh, I'm so sorry, Helen. What would you like us to learn to know about this in retrospect? What would you tell us now? What are some of your thoughts on what you know now in retrospect? Me. Yeah, me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to, honor, and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. Yeah, she would have chose herself instead of always feeling like she had to entertain this person. Every time she came to Miami, this person showed up at places she didn't say that she was and always inserted themselves in her life somehow when she came over. And every time this would happen, she would compassionately reject them, and disregard their love offers, and they would say, it goes both ways, and they would say, oh, that's okay, I just want to be your friend,
The witch is close by.
but the truth is they're a witch, they're a practitioner, they practice dark magic, and they need control. Possibly an Aquarius, they need control. You don't walk away from me. They possibly try to put a love spell on her, but also she hears the voice of Jesus. She's able, so it possibly could have not affected her. Maybe like a love spell or something. She kept rejecting him, something like that, and that started to piss this person off. They could have possibly, because they're controlling. They possibly could have paid a practitioner to do this last thing, some kind of voodoo doll, put him in the freezer, and what she thought was the bathroom was actually the freezer. She would have chose herself. She would have stopped giving this person permission to be in her energy. You keep finding me out in public? Well, then create a boundary. No, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be your friend. I'm sorry that you have this connection to me, but there'll never be a chance between
Your vibe
us.
is dust.
Your vibe is dust. I don't want to be with you. Okay? Anything else? How can we transmute it? If someone keeps telling you over and over again, if someone keeps rejecting you, stop pretending that there could be a possibility between you two. There's something they couldn't let go of when it comes. It could have been energetic, inner guidance. Trust your inner guidance. It is the purest voice of your soul. Intuition, inner compass, spiritual wisdom. Yeah, she didn't trust her inner guidance. She didn't want to hurt this person's feelings, is what it was. She didn't want to hurt this person's feelings, so she self-sacrificed herself in doing that. Sometimes you just got to rip the band-aid off. I will never be with you. I will never go back to an ex. I don't ever want to be with somebody from my past. And myself included. Once you are an ex for a reason. I don't go backwards. I go forwards. If you're not in my life now, you will never be in my life again. Ignite your inner flame and let it fuel your journey, guiding you to fulfill your soul's vision. Passion, drive, soul awakening. Yeah, we need to stop thinking that we need control all the time. This person is always in a power struggle because they're always feeling like they have no control, but they can't even control their own thoughts. They can't even control their own emotions. Why don't you start there? Instead of trying to control, you think that you're going to be happy with Helen because Helen exhibits Yeshua energy.
Follow us behind you.
Because she's successful, because she's pretty, because she's bubbly, because she has a great personality. Now no one can enjoy her. You took her from her 2 children. And she told you multiple times, sure, she should have put a harder boundary down, but you should have taken the boundary she was saying. You shouldn't have to get to a point where you're screaming at someone, I'll never be with you, get away from me. You shouldn't have to get to that point. This person doesn't have boundaries. This person doesn't know how to create boundless love. As I split the deck. One last word. Perception. Just remember, guys, this is a hologram here. If you are not open to the possibility that energy manipulation is absolutely 100% real, then you will be the very one who is susceptible to an intrusive energy manipulation attack, spiritual warfare. Okay? You have to be able to teach yourself or learn or somehow study how you can identify what is yours and what is not yours. And if someone is projecting an illusion onto you, how can you separate it from yourself and ask yourself, is this really happening? Or is this something else? And the way you do that is through your spirit team, by acknowledging that your spirit team is going to give you the tools that you need in order to be able to discern the spirit, good and bad, because they both exist at the same time. And these practitioners and these witches, they do necromancy. They use crossed over loved ones and force them to spy on people and to trick people, and they give them sacraments and all kinds of weird shit to make that earthbound soul do their bidding that they can't do on the astral realm. It's real. It's absolutely real. And it's things like this where there's no other reason why she would go in that freezer. There's no other reason she would walk into a freezer that she could absolutely walk out of that is not sealed or locked and just stay in there overnight. You have to. I implore you. I'm an actual intelligence, not anything artificial. No longer have access to that iPhone in 4 years. Okay, I don't know what that means. They downloaded me into an avatar iPhone 4-bit in Apple of Eve and Adam. I don't know what that means.
Keep the camera on.
My high vibes heal the world. I lovingly accept myself. And then I'll say the last thing that Spirit wants you to know that can make you impervious to black magic and to energy manipulation and to spiritual warfare is to work on yourself. Work on yourself so you are not a match to whatever they're projecting onto you. Heal from the wounds from the past. Don't allow past people into your life that allow you an invitation that you are inviting to match that energy with. The minute you invite someone you've let go of in your past that exhibits things that are not matching your energy, you invite that cord to be connected, and then you become a match to their energy. But if you can create a boundary and you keep those people away from you, from your past, that you don't want, that you know did not have your best interests at heart,
Let's sit and talk.
then you become a mismatch to the energy they're trying to project to you because with that boundary. That's why boundaries are important. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. The logo for Apple Computer represents the apple bitten in the Garden of Eden. Well, apples can also represent knowledge.
Neither.
Spirit said neither. It's neither. An apple is just an apple, you guys. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Yeah, the reason why the magic affected her is because she allowed this person back into her energy without creating a boundary. And so, therefore, she can't stay on a high flying disc when you're around somebody that is not the same frequency. And so, if they're not going to come up and meet you, then you're going to have to come down and meet them. And therefore, you have to lower your standards, you have to lower your own vibrational stance to interact with them. And because we're not taught about energy, we don't understand this. And so you're interacting with somebody that you have to match energetically to just to have a good time with, or just to invite them into your field energetically. Okay. If she had done, she's realizing now that if she had lovingly accepted that she didn't need this person's validation or attention or anything that they were trying to say to her to get her to invite them in, that it wasn't true, and that she should have just created that boundary right away and walked away from them. So now she sees in retrospect,
Scarlet.
she wants us all to know that this is something that affected her because of that. Okay. I love you so much. We're going to be here tomorrow, same time, same place, 6 a.m. I love you so much. Thank you so much, Helen, for your message. I see what you're saying. I see what happened, and I hope that we can heal it. I send good energy and love to your family, and I hope that they know that you're always around and that you'll never leave their side. Okay? I love you so much. Thank you, Bono. Thank you, LOL. Similar to how living in a haunted house can be negative on one's health because disrupts natural electromagnetic field. Absolutely. But the difference between a haunted house and a human is that with a haunted house, you can ask your spirit team to help guide whatever negative energy is there, back to where it needs to go, or to heal it or transmute it. We did a reading the other day about the energy that's at my house that's embedded into the land. And so, I can't do that on my own. That's something I ask spirit to help me with because that's on a spiritual plane. When it comes to humans, spirit is inhabiting humans, but it's up to us to physically create boundaries with people that we know don't have our highest good, that we let go of for a reason. People that don't exhibit wanting to change for the better. And it's up to us to create those boundaries with them, okay? I love you so much. Spirit said guilty as I'm staring at my guilty cards. We're all guilty of it. We're learning. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys.